Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures, etc. And it is day 13 of Ephemera 2022, a collaboration that is hosted by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel at Junk Journal Art. And today's prompt is Acetate and Banner. And I've been thinking a lot about how I want to do this. And typically what I do, because I want to use the animal that Louisa and Barbara recommend, and you don't have to use the animal, but I've been doing that and I think it's kind of fun to do that. So I usually watch one of their videos just long enough to find out what the animal is, and then I switch it off because I don't want to be influenced by what they do. I want to be able to come up with my own ideas. And except for today, I couldn't stop watching Louisa's because she was demonstrating a technique that she learned how to do. And she learned how from a tutorial that was recommended to her by one of her subbies. The YouTuber is Marian Emberson. So I quickly switched over to Marian Emberson's channel, and I'll link that in the description below. And this technique is so cool. I just had to try it for this process. So why don't we go ahead and get started. This is parchment paper, and I'm using my glass mat because I'm also going to be applying heat. And I don't want to melt my my other mat, which I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's some sort of plasticky thing. I don't want to warp it. So I'm going to use some Distress embossing glaze. Now the Marian Emberson used embossing powder, but I wanted to use embossing glaze, especially since the animal is a seahorse. I want to give it some ocean type colors, which is my favorite anyway. I've never been able to consider living very far from the ocean, and I haven't since 1986 when I moved to California. I'm in Washington now, but still close to the ocean. Okay, so I've got 4 different colors here I'm going to use, and they are weathered wood, fossilized amber, broken china, and peeled paint. So of the Distress embossing glazes, those are the ones that I felt, you know, in combination would make a good ocean type scene. So all I'm doing is I'm just kind of sprinkling on some of this embossing powder onto my parchment paper. And I was just so enthralled with this technique that I didn't even get dressed yet. I was sitting here in my pajamas trying it out, and I just loved it. Okay, so this is the peeled paint. I'm going to add a little bit more here. And fossilized amber. And finally, broken china. I'd like to get some more of these different colors of the embossing glaze because I use them quite a bit and I just absolutely love them. All right, so now I'm going to show you what she did, but I'm going to have to do it with the sound off. When I edit it, I'll turn the sound off because it's going to be really loud. But basically what I'm going to be doing is just closing this up and turning on my heat gun and heating it up long enough for it to melt. And occasionally I'm going to pounce on it like this with my heat gun. And you'll see that as I go. Okay, here it goes. So you can see it's starting to melt when you can see it kind of showing through the parchment paper that's on top. I'm going to start to check it, and it's not quite done yet. I want to go a little bit longer. So by using my brayer, I'm pushing it down into the bottom layer of the parchment paper, which makes it easy to pull off the top layer. Now, that looks beautiful. So what I do next is you can peel this off like with a metal palette knife or a little spatula like this. This one came with my Cricut. So that needs to be melted just a little bit more, I think, unless I just use it here. But I'm going to go ahead and melt it just a little bit more. I wonder if I can just turn it over and do that. Why not try it? Oh, perfect. So I just think that this is absolutely beautiful. Now I can make it a little shinier by heating it up some more without the parchment paper. So I just love this. To me, this looks like ocean. Okay, so I am going to set this aside until I'm ready to use it. Now the next thing I want to do is to take some of this file folder, and I'm going to do the same type of treatment to this that I did yesterday for Ephemera 11 and 12. So I'm going to take some of my Distress Spray stains and mica sprays, and I'm going to do three sides actually. On this surface, I'm going to make it look like sand. And then on the inside, I want to make it look like ocean. So even this piece is too big for what I want to do for my final product, but I'm going to keep it this size just to get going on it. So, and the trick here is to spray and then dry, and that way you get the best effect. So by adding water, you can see where it separates the ink and gives it more of a, I don't know, a watercolory type effect. So I'm just going to keep going with this, and then I'm going to speed it way up for the camera. So I really, really love how this turned out. You know, sand is shiny when you look at it, and the sun shines on it. You can see all the different crystals. So I love using the mica stain sprays and to just give it depth and different colors, because sand isn't just one color. And then inside for my ocean colors, I'll do it this way. I used a mixture of oxides and spray stains and mica stain, and I just love how that came out. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to play with my acetate here, and I'm going to use some alcohol inks. Now, I've been inspired by a line in a poem by Emily Dickinson, and the line says, when something like, "This is the sunset that washes the sea." And so I want to do like a sunset pattern on here, and I hope I can approximate this. So let's start with the darkest blue at the top. So I'm going to do what I saw Tim Holtz do, and I thought this was really cool. Oh dear. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Well, let's work with it. This is 92% alcohol. Okay, I like that, but I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll cut it down to the size that I want. So let's set that aside now. Alrighty, so this is starting to take shape. So I'm going to cut this piece down to be more towards the size of the page, where it'll fit on the page, obviously, to be smaller than the page. And I'm going to use my seahorse as a reference, and also I want to do a little paper doll. So I want to take my pencil and mark approximately where, you know, how this is going to work. So let's see, that is about 4 inches, and I'm going to go about 6.5. So now we need to cut a hole for the acetate to fit in. Okay, so I have this handy dandy stencil thing that I'm going to use to cut my frame. Okay, I absolutely love that. Now we need to get the sunset trimmed down and attached on here. Okay, I think that's really pretty so far. So now I have to decide which one of these I want to put on here to simulate water. The one I made today or the one I made yesterday. Let's see. Oh, I like that one. So I'm not sure what kind of glue to use. I'm not sure what glue that other YouTuber did. So I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac because I know that'll work. And we're just going to add a bit of glue just sort of all around. Now the seahorse, this is from the Antiquarian sticker book, and I took some of the weathered wood embossing glaze and just went over it. I cut around the perimeter of it and then added the embossing glaze just to give it a little bit of shine. I want to see what that looks like through the acetate, and I really like it. So I think I will fussy cut around this a little bit more. I love seahorses. They're so interesting. So far I've really liked all of the animals that Barbara and Louisa have come up with for this project. That's why I keep waiting to find out what they are before I start. So today is the 13th, but this is kind of involved and I have a meeting to attend tonight. So I might not get it all the way edited and uploaded to YouTube until tomorrow, the 14th. You know, if I can get it uploaded today, I will. I'll try, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so I have the seahorse all fussy cut out. I didn't try to cut in there because that would have been ridiculous. Okay, now I'm going to leave him alone, leave him where he stands or swims, whatever they do. And I think that this eyelash trim would make wonderful seaweed. And having been a scuba diver, of course I never saw a seahorse in the wild, but I saw plenty of seaweed. That, I think that looks awesome. But I want to decorate the front, and to do that so I'm going to set this aside for a minute. What I want to do is have fun making a little paper doll, but not just any paper doll. I'm going to make her a different kind of paper doll. Okay, so what I've done here is to fussy cut around the top of this lady from the pattern, the sewing pattern, and glued it on to, you know, the backing of one of these, you know, some of the offcuts. And I left this part here to look like sand so I wouldn't have to fussy cut that part out because it was kind of difficult just on the paper. But now I want to give her some mermaid tail. I did a prototype, and oh, I hope this is going to fit on here. Might have to cut the waist. I made the waist a little bit long. Okay, so that'll work. So I'm just going to trace around this. I wanted to make sure I got it right before I started drawing on this. And I'm using the back side, or the ocean type side of the piece that I cut out for the frame to put the acetate in. Super cute. So I've done a paper doll with a paper skirt and one with a handkerchief skirt, and now I've done one with mermaid tails. So I'm just going to draw on some ideas of scales and some of the lines that you would expect to see if you were to ever come in contact with a real mermaid, which of course you never will. Okay, now I have to figure out where I want to place it on the card here. I'm going to put some glue on the back of her, so once I get the placement right, I can attach the top to the bottom. Oh, she's so cute, isn't she? Oh my goodness. Okay, now I also have to have a banner on here, and this is what I came up with. The title of that poem is called The Sea of Sunset. So let me put the banner on first, and then that'll help me with the placement. But to make the banner, I simply took some of this and cut it into a banner shape, and then embossed it with weathered wood embossing glaze to give it a little bit different tone than the sand that is sitting on. Sort of like driftwood. Let's just pretend it's like driftwood. Okay, I think she's absolutely preciously adorable. So let's go ahead and put her on, let's see, mostly on this side. I really don't want to put glue on the parts that's going to go over the acetate, if I can help it. And I think for her hair, she should have seaweed hair. Okay, so far I am absolutely in love with this project. So I have these little stickers that I got from the Dollar Tree a while back, and I want to add a couple down here at the bottom. Oh, nice. It has a little frame. I didn't realize it came out of the frame. That's even better. So I'm going to just make sure that they're little reinforced with the glue there. So let's see, another little seashell. Little starfish. Okay, if this isn't cute, I don't know what is. And then I made another little banner to go on the inside. This is the first line of that poem. This is the land the sunset washes. And I want to put it on the inside. So the prompt was acetate and a banner, and I have the acetate here and the banner on the inside and on the outside. And I absolutely, and a seahorse. and I absolutely love how this came out. So I hope you liked it too, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'm looking forward to putting this in my junk journal. And also, please subscribe. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed already. So I will see you in my next video. In the meantime, let the serendipity find you, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.